right, here is my piece all ready to start being formed. I take the template off here. I got the holes all cut out for it, and they are perfect. Set with the die grind, I've got them right up to my marker lines. Cup holders and the shifter bezel, everything slide in and out of them nicely, and there's a little bit of extra room in case whatever we wrap this with, we want to go over the edge, or if it just gets a little tight. So now it's time to run this thing through the bead roller and get it shaped. I've got to curl this front edge up. This back edge needs to curl up. I need to put a little step here where this line is for the other piece to overlap, and then that 5/8 of an inch all the way around the outside has to curl under because it's going to wrap around the bottom of the center console. So I'm super stoked to see what this thing is going to look like in place with the bezels and everything on it. So let's get to it and start getting this thing shaped. So none of the tools I'm using are anything special. This is the piece that I got from Woodward Fab. It was an upgrade from our Harbor Freight version. But back then, when I was using the Harbor Freight bead roller, I was really not doing much but putting a couple of bead rolls in a floor patch or something. And over the last 15, 20 years since then, we've become a little more ambitious. So, do a lot more metal work here, and it's really fun and super freaking rewarding when you make one of these complicated pieces and make it look like it was stamped out in the factory. That is super cool. Right now, if you hold it as flat as possible, it really does, just with the dies kind of stretch and pull, force it into the shape that I want. Alright, that is a pretty good start there. Got a really nice flat wheel on the English wheel. So I'm going to run it through this plane here, just kind of stretch it out a little bit, kind of help get this piece flat. Pretty good. You can see we're only about a halfway done with that curve. I want that to come the rest of the way around. So I'm going to go test fit this, make sure this is centered and where I want it, and then hammer and dolly time. Alright, so I got kind of a cool idea on this piece. Now that I did the first roll here, I really want this top to be nice and flat. And I do have this really nice tipping die over here. So I think what I want to do, and I've never tried this before, it might look pretty cool, but it have like a hard edge with a roll coming out of it. So I put the template on the inside, upside down, traced the outside, and then retraced it about 3/16 of an inch further in. I'm going to go check and make sure that that distance is the same as it is on the center console. If that is true, then I can take this, run it through with the tipping die right on that line, and I should have a really nice crisp line where this curve starts, and it should give me the rest of the 90 that I want, so that this will sit right on top of that piece. So fingers crossed, man. I think this is going to be cool. Okay, I've got the tipping die on there in place, tension that I want on it. Let's see if this works. So we're going to start on the nice long section first, and the if I do it with light pressure first and not try to put any bend in it, it'll leave a nice little score in there, and that'll give me a nice path to follow. And I come back through the second pass and actually go to bend it. Pass number one. Now let's put a little bit of juice into it. Yeah, that's definitely starting to do what I want. Run it through one more time. Give it a little more bend. Curl this the rest of the way over here. Okay, so I am like super happy with how this thing came out. It is absolutely beautiful. And for something that's going to be getting covered in leather, I don't think we're going to have any issues with it. We've got really nice fitment up to the dash piece here. A nice overlap coming over the edge. That seems to line up really nice with my relief on the side. And I've got good gaps all the way around everything. So I'm really happy. Got a little more fitment to do on this bezel that goes in the middle. I'm going to make it a little bit taller, but it is still in prototype stage, so that's not a big deal. We'll get that all perfected before we print it out in ABS, and we should be good to go. I'm going to start working on this centerpiece right here. Alright, so here's the beginning of the piece. I ran it through the 1 inch right there. And then on the other piece, I ran it through the tipping die to do the other part. But this one being a flat piece, I was able to use the brake to get the rest of my bend. So now we've got our nice profile here on the back side where it's going to overlap the ends. I checked in the car, matches it absolutely perfectly to the piece we already built. So I went back, as I said, had it in the car to test it. This is where my bend starts. So that's where we're going to start. All right, so piece number 2 of the center console is in place. It fits in there beautifully. I put a little locking channel here so it locks right in. Amy and I sat and discussed, and we came up with a really good idea to mount all of these things so there won't be any visible hardware at all. There is a plastic tray that we're going to be printing for here. So we'll have 2 screws that go through that tray into a piece of framework underneath in the center console. So the actual tray, when it sets in the lip and everything, that will hold all of that together. Same thing with the cup holders. There's a couple of center holes on those. So those will go to some framework, hold the front of that piece in. So that'll be locked in. This one has the little tab on the front that locks into this piece. So that'll be good. Come up here. And the armrest container here, we'll put a couple screws straight down into that, into some framework to hold it. And then this piece is going to wrap over and hook behind here, and we'll lay behind this piece. So this piece will actually hold that one in. So there we go. We've got no visible attachment points for any of that stuff. And then when it comes to these side covers, I'm going to bend a tab on the inside to lock on this edge here where it steps in. And then that piece will just kind of slide into that channel, lay up against the back here, and then we'll have a couple of screws right there that will be easy to find if anyone in the future needs to get up underneath that dash. The top three pieces are now in, so essentially the center console is done. Once we get those couple of braces in and the last couple of pieces printed, we could have it completely bolted together. I do have these two side pieces to make yet, but we've got to play with some designs on that. We're going to do a tan leather on this entire center console and the center of the dash up here. And then the headliner up above is going to be a black perforated vinyl. So we want to tie that black perforated down here and do some little inset panels with the bead roller and cover that in the perforated black, and then we'll mimic those with the kick panels and use the perforated black as like the speaker cover area, so that'll match on both sides of passenger and driver compartment. So I need to go cut some sheet metal, and we're going to start working on the interior, these little corner pieces for the interior and the pieces for up over the window. So we'll get this whole surround around the top of the truck done, and then the angle iron pieces and stuff that I need to do for down here to get everything fitted together. We'll get all this rust, everything cleaned off, and get everything pretty again, and the interior will be done.